Hi guys, welcome back. I've got gold for you here, and big sell-off on Friday. You can see the big red candle here. That was sort of mid-afternoon, something like that, London time. We dropped to a low of about 1262. Tested again and just sort of been trickling to the upside. Having a look at where the daily charts, where the daily candles closed, the closing price on Friday was about 1272, and if you have a look at the previous low back here, that was back in sort of end of the first week, beginning of the second week of August. That was the 1272 low as well. So this 1270, whilst we have spiked a little bit below it, and once again today getting down to about 1269, we're just managing to desperately hold on to this 1270 area. Covered gold for you just after we saw this big move to the downside on Friday. I was talking about a close below 1270, and potentially being a bit of a bearish signal, and this is the support level that probably the market is looking at being your lows that I just showed you earlier. Looking at where we have reached, so I did the alert when we were trading around here. You can see that the trend line, this short-term trend line, this is from the move that we saw from last week only. You can see that it's capping all the rallies, and we're pretty much coming up to it right now, coming in around a sort of 1278 area, a couple of dollars higher than where we are, and we are pretty much sitting on the highs of the day. A break above here, and I'm not expecting gold to actually move dramatically in any particular direction today. We're seeing a bit of sort of cautious wait and see markets. The majors are not moving at all. The FX majors are not moving at all. They've just sort of had a little bit of an impulsive reaction to the failed sort of negotiations over the weekend, but we've got equities slightly in the red today, and US is off on holiday later on today for Columbus Day, so and some of the other countries are also on holiday today. So potentially a bit of range trading environment, but looking at the levels, I mean, this is the first sort of trend line resistance that we've got here at 1278. A break above that, I'm still seeing resistance should we even get up there. To sort of 1285 to 1295, this zone here. I've got my previous low there, I've got my previous low there. I've got a 50% Fibonacci retracement as well at 1295, 1287 to 1295. This is the zone I'm looking at. Bit of consolidation here throughout Thursday afternoon and the overnight session on Friday, and this is the sort of resistance zone should we break to the upside. To the downside, looking for potential short-term support again should we get down there at 1262. It'll be interesting to see how the week plays out because last week we have had a bit of a push to the downside. On the longer term perspective, I'm going to zoom out for you here, and you can see that we did last week fail again at this descending trend line. We've got 1, 2, 3 almost there, and 4 nice peaks to the downside. This is the sort of longer term relief rally where we've reached up to 1433. Longer term trend still remains to the downside, and we've got a very nice strong trend line here that comes in above 1300. We'll obviously cover that should we start moving up there, but for the time being I've got this sharper move to the downside here that you can see throughout the course of last week, and looking at first point of resistance right here, and this is where we've this is pretty much the high of the day, with sort of 1285 to 1295 as your next point of resistance. Unless we claw back above 1300 again, short-term trend and bias is probably to the downside. Should we get down to 1262, considering that it is quiet markets, I would expect support to be coming in on an intraday basis anyway, and we'll see how the daily candles close and what news comes out of the US.